Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs in Switzerland. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a unique casting which I'm fairly confident you'll be unfamiliar with. It's a 1:43 scale 1929 Darmont Spécial Cycle Car. The manufacturer is an Italian die-cast company called Brumm. And I got this little jewel from a flea market in Morges, Switzerland, where I happily stumbled upon a flea market during a weekend visit there. No surprise, I had to do a little bit of research on this one. But I'll share with you what I found out from scouring the internet. This one caught my eye on the flea market table because it's a three-wheeler. That makes it unique, but it had some missing parts. The body's been scuffed up. You can see some clayware on it. There's no windshield. It's missing a cylinder head from the front engine. The headlights are intact, but they're lopsided. Looks like they've been repaired once before. I thought it would be a fun project to do because you don't see this one every day. This is going to be a straight restoration. Now you would think it was very simple because it's a three-wheeler, but this Brumm model is actually quite complicated, had a whole lot more parts to it than what I first imagined it would have. It was actually kind of challenging to take this apart, and that was exacerbated at the end of the video when I tried to put everything back together. But I will not be defeated by a 99-cent car, or in this case, a whopping 3 Swiss francs. See, I'm pulling the headlight posts out of some very soft glue, more like silicone, which is what made me think this has been repaired before I got my hands on it. It's either a handbrake or a gear shift here. Lots of parts. This is just melted plastic on the inside, so I just need to shave them down. Carefully use my X-Acto knife, and after you do that, usually with a little bit of persuasion, you can pull them free from the top side. There it comes. I think that might be some retracted seat cover. That's my guess. The dash comes off the seat. There's a little bit of detail I can improve upon here. And that's everything. As always, I put all the bits and pieces in one plastic container for safekeeping, because this will be on the bench for the best part of a week, amidst other projects that are going on. I wear a mask whenever I open up this very toxic paint stripper that I've got, as well as having the fan going high speed in my spray booth. And there's a window open beside me on this beautiful fall day. I hope you're having a good start to the fall season. There's a lot of good stuff coming up on my channel at Maple Leaf Customs for this time of year. I'd like to give you a heads up for the next Diecast Mafia Invitational on the theme of treks. I'm going to revisit the Corvette Summer Stingray, but in a larger scale for the Maestro Build-Off, sponsored by the Diecast Media Network. My wife Petra will be doing her annual build for the Painted Pink event in early October, and the Diecast Day of Giving is now just a month away. I hope you'll be a regular follower here of my channel for these and more special events. It was during the First World War that Robert Darmont started his business as an importer of Morgan three-wheelers from England. When peace broke out, he set up an automaking business in partnership with his brother Andre, operating from a workshop in the western part of the city of Paris. In 1921, the brothers obtained a license to build Morgan three-wheelers in France, and a faithful replica, the Darmont Morgan, was the result. With the outbreak of the Second World War, Darmont unfortunately had to declare itself bankrupt. Up front there was an air-cooled V2 cylinder 4-stroke motor tilted forward with a capacity of 1,084 cc's, which was enough to power the vehicle to a top speed of about 78 miles per hour. The little cars had a successful career in street races and mountain races. In 1921, Darmonts took the first 3 places in a road race from Paris to Nice. My Viejo Premium Basic Blue is just a shade lighter than the original casting, but it will certainly do for this project, and I'm well pleased with it. Here's a not-so-clean model taking a corner on 2 of the 3 wheels. This week's community shoutout goes to Diecast, and as always, there's a link in the description that you can click on to go directly over there, make a visit, leave a thumbs up, and help another YouTuber get his channel going strong. Thank you. One of the glaringly obvious missing parts from the Darmont Spécial was what I'll call a cylinder head on the very front of the engine. So I found a STL file on Thingiverse, printed that up, and it'll get chrome painted with the rest of the engine parts to match perfectly. This one single decal, it's the number 13, as per the original, on a 45-degree slant, just like the one that was paint stripped away, and it looks good, nice and clean. There's the replacement part, and I also airbrushed some Molotov chrome onto this cowling, but not until I had taped off that black grille. Nice sharp contrast now. The other missing bit from the flea market table was the windshield. Understandably, those parts break off easily. So I'm going to scratch build my own with this pliable clear plastic and a very short piece of 1mm square styrene rod. Looks like that. And now for my weekly segment, which I call a heavily edited down reassembly process, 30 minutes into 2. What a fiasco this was. If it could go on upside down or backwards, I did it. I first exhausted all of those possibilities before blindly stumbling into the right way to do this. But it all worked out in the end. The nicely painted and clear-coated body pieces went back in without a scratch, as did the re-chromed engine and grille. I didn't have to touch the wheels, they were pristine. I did sand the rust off the screw heads as well as the front axle, so they're all cleaned up now. And I managed to save all of these little parts that I took off originally. There's that seat cover, or armrest, whatever it is. And the side shifter, or emergency brake. These are little rubber hoses that connect the engine to the rad. And I chromed up those gas caps on the top, replaced the headlights after straightening them out and realigning them, and there's my windshield proudly displayed and glistening on the very front. I think it looks great. All this one needed was a little TLC and some patience on the hobby bench. I'm sure happy with the way it came out in the end. I'm glad that I found this on the flea market table. Even in the rough shape it was in with a couple of missing pieces. I don't know if it's a classic, but it's a cutie. It looks even better now. I'd like you to leave a respectful comment below, along with a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and tell me what you think of the Darmont Spécial Cycle Car restoration. Also, please tell me where you're watching from, as I'm interested to know. Here it is on a little coffee coaster-size Euro cobblestone diorama, which I think suits this build perfectly. I've also made up a special display case. It's not kid-friendly because of the small, fragile parts that could be swallowed, so this will not be going to the Goodwill store, nor will it be part of my D-Dog giveaway collection. Those have to be new cars. There it gets capped off from the dust that it will surely collect on a shelf somewhere. Thank you for visiting my channel today. I sure hope you'll come back soon and often. It's coffee time.